There's been a lot of these redraws, fixes of people going over the models of the characters in Sparking Zero as a form of, hey, let's fix this, right? Now, back in January or even prior, when other people pointed out things that could be fixed, simple things to more complex things, the first thing that anyone likes to say is the developers are going to fix it, you don't need to say anything. Quite literally, that's what was constantly said. If you said anything that was constructive criticism, you wasn't hating on the game, you weren't saying the game was shit, you was just pointing out something, people came for you, they wish death on your family and all the generations that come after you. Can't make this shit up. But I do want to highlight something. So first, we're gonna go over something that Creeps has said. R Creeps. He's a YouTuber. If you guys don't know who he is, well, now you do. He had quote tweeted the thread I do want to go over. He said, y'all remember back in January when I said things needed to be changed early in development, not only in regards to glitches, but also art direction, and I got called slurs in 75 different languages for it. It's a little too late to ask for more muscle on Goku's neck now. Dead. Now, here's the crazy thing about it. Whenever people, myself included, have pointed out something that they had some constructive criticism on and things the dev team could improve, there was a large vocal group that basically said, hey, shut up, let them cook. And now it's almost time for the game to go gold, and you bring something up and they're still saying the same thing. Well, why is it that some of these same people who are saying let the devs cook are doing these model fixes and redrawings? Aren't you guys the same people who claim that the devs are gonna fix these things? So why are you guys taking it upon yourselves to try to fix what the devs have done? And if you do have a problem with it, why are you allowed to highlight this and basically draw over the devs' work and basically play, oh, I'm doing the community justice, but you're no different than the people who wanted to voice the opinions of what needs to be fixed so that way the devs could see it. And if anything, it's actually a tad bit disrespectful to redraw over the things that these people were doing, basically to say that, hey, I think what you put out there was trash and I could do it better. But if that's the mindset that some of these people have, they're no better than the people they claim to be haters, because what they're doing is even worse than hating. Yeah, I said it. Now, the particular thread from the Lince RNG had said this: everyone who do all those Sparking Zero mod fixes and redraws, it's a lot different drawing over basically a single frame compared to actually creating an accurate animated model. He said the issue with Sparking Zero is more so the art direction, autonomy, colors, etc., which isn't going to change this late into development, so I don't understand why people are doing it. Things like face shading, clipping, sure, but not proportions and face positioning. That will also mean redoing rigging, animation, etc. It's just pointlessly shouting into the void, or even slightly disrespecting the artist team that still cooked beautifully regardless of the art direction they went with. Again, not saying it's a bad to criticize or call for improvements, it just depends on what and when. As much as I too wish the art direction was slightly different at times, it is still amazing regardless, especially considering this is Spike Chunsoft's first time going this hard for this kind of anime look with their games. And you know what's funny? Shonen Games even chimed in. He said people like you should be speaking on this and not random Twitter user 74. And you know what's funny? My thing is that whenever there's actual things that need to be discussed about the game, and you try to break it down so that people can understand, the rebuttal you get is you're either being a hater or what you brought up is not a big deal, the devs are going to fix it. But clearly if it's so late in development, the devs aren't going to be able to fix it. There are things that they should have prioritized. And I'm also tired of seeing these, the devs fixed this on the model, this is improved. I'm getting tired of that too. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't like how people are saying let the devs cook, but they're constantly trying to show examples of how they improved the shit. How about I just wait until the game comes out, and if it was improved, it was improved? Because if you're gonna yell at me for pointing something out, you're not about to sit there and try to say, oh, this shit was improved from before, so then that means you acknowledge that the shit wasn't great to you if now you're showing that and saying they improved it. Shit doesn't make sense. Looking at the Sparking Zero community, it's pretty evident that there are a lot of anti-bullies, and that's pretty much what I call the people where, let's say if someone makes a criticism or point out something that definitely could be improved, and the fans jump on them as if what they said makes no freaking sense. Now, there have been communities outside of Dragon Ball where people have joked about certain shit, but they don't get jumped on. Like, imagine being a part of the Call of Duty community and saying the game looks the same as last year's Call of Duty, and there's a good amount of people who agree with you. There's still some disagreements, but you're not being witch hunt because you said that shit, or vice versa. You might get somebody who says, no, it looks the same, but you're not about to be called like a retard or something crazy for having an opinion piece on something or the opposite. It comes down to, if you don't share a similar opinion to someone else in the community or the masses, they will have a problem with you. And this is why I personally am like, nah, I don't want to see the fixes. I don't want to see the redrawn stuff, because when people wanted to voice their opinions on this shit, you guys crucified them. Now you guys want to, air quotes, have these fixes so the devs can improve shit. But as the guy Delence RNG pointed out, you guys don't necessarily know how modeling works, and it's not simply just what you guys are doing. So point to this video is me saying, look, if you're going to get mad at people that are trying to critique this game and shit, then don't be a hypocrite and try to fix and redraw the game yourself. The game's coming out in 2 months, and I've been saying this since no one's allowed to critique or anything. Let's just let the game come out. If the game has a bunch of issues, the devs will give it a day one, and if the game comes out beautifully, then it comes out beautifully. We all want the game to come out beautifully, but if we see something, we're gonna say something, because we want the game to come out beautifully. That's it. Give me your thoughts. I am Makai saying, and I'll catch you guys later.